All right, this is kind of like a part two to day 15. We're going to call it day 15A. How about that? For 30K for your first project, 30 steps to make that 30K. And what we're talking about today is when you're walking properties with contractors before they get you a bid, you want to ask lots of questions because when you walk that property with your scope of work and you talk about the different things, they're going to ask you some things. They're probably going to ask you some things you hadn't even thought about, maybe a lot of things you haven't thought about, which is good for you. It's educational. You get to talk through it. But then here's the thing, after you have that conversation, repeat the experience with the next contractor. Why? You're going to have a more educated conversation because you learned some things. And by the way, your contractor is going to learn some things. And then you rinse and repeat and do this with the third contractor. Not because you're trying to play them, but because each contractor is going to bring a different perspective to your project, a different level of experience, a different level of interest, excitement, willing to provide input, and so forth. Different people communicate in different ways. Different people have different levels of interest in your project. People have different ways of showing their enthusiasm to your project. Some are going to be very outward about it. To some, it's going to be very low key. To some, it'll just feel like business. These different variables also impact who you're going to hire and why. And, not every contract is for every investor. Some people just don't mix well. And then some people mix together well, it's seamless. So you want to make sure you not only are leveraging, their knowledge to figure out how to best position your project, you're also talking about the soft skills. Okay, so there's a lot that goes into hiring a contractor, but learning from each one to make you better for the next conversation, that's huge. And when you do that, there's a higher chance of winning on your end, and your contractor wins as well. So with that, see you in the next video.